And right now, I want to welcome back to the program. He was here just a year ago. This is Darvell Givens, who's the executive director of actually, I would call a pretty well-known organization now after a couple of years, Darvell. It's called Marching Against the Darkness. And you have a big event, actually, which was last year we talked about it. It was a little bit later in the year. And Darvell, you were on our noon program with Lily a few days ago talking about the Excellence Expo, which is coming up on April 12th. But first of all, let's talk a little bit about Marching Against the Darkness. This organization is what? Tell everybody what this is all about.
Our mission is to provide a performing arts platform that challenges disconnected youth to achieve excellence both during the competition and in life. And so essentially what that means is we are using performing arts as a vehicle to reconnect youth with their excellence within. Through various programs such as our Excellence Expo and our drill team competition.
Yeah, and you said the competition, so yeah, you're talking about drill team competition. That competition, though, will be later this year in July, as always, right?
Yes, so July 13th.
The main thing you want to talk about today is the Excellence Expo. It'll be at the Waterloo Convention Center again. What exactly is that going to be?
The Excellence Expo will take place on Friday, April 12th at the Waterloo Convention Center. It has three components. The College and Career Fair will highlight 2- and 4-year institutions, HBCUs, military opportunities, trade and certification programs, and employers. We also will have skills seminars on leadership, mental wellness, and financial education, which is promoted by Community Bank and Trust. And then we will have our arts workshops on dance, step, flag, and drum. And it's free lunch provided. There will be prizes and giveaways. And the registration is free, but the registration is required. It's open to all 6th to 12th graders. And you can go to our website, matd.org, click on Expo, and click on the student registration.
And actually, a pretty good day to have it, because I understand the kids are out of school that day anyway.
Yes, thanks for mentioning that. Yes, so it is a professional development day for the Waterloo School District, so you're not going to have to pull your kids out of school. They can have a fun alternative that day while you as a parent still have to work. So send them to us to enjoy the afternoon. And then also, when you pick them up at 5 p.m., we're actually having a parent college and career fair networking event. So when you pick up your children at 5 p.m. from 5 to 6, the parents are also welcome to connect with the vendors so they can also be further engaged with their child's future options and plans for their future.
So the Excellence Expo is a special event that you have once a year, or at least once a year. So what do you do during the rest of the year? Who are the kids that you're working with that you mentioned?
Yeah, so with the Excellence Expo, it's targeted to 6th to 12th graders. And so we work with the Waterloo School District to get the information out to those students. And then also, as we mentioned earlier, we have our drill team competition later on in the year in July. It'll be July 13th at the Young Arena this year at 6 p.m. Where we have teams come from about 8 different states. And those performing kids are also within the same age range as well.
Yeah, but let's look at one right now. This is the Union Baptist Crusaders. When you talk about this competition, that's, as you say, that won't be until July. We'll probably talk about that a little bit later on a future program. But that's a competition that's taken pretty seriously, isn't it?
Oh, yes. The cash prize this year is actually increased. So this year, first place is $4,000, second place is $3,000, and third place is $2,000. And they're judged against a very strict criteria with 5 different categories. And then at our specific contest, we also give additional points for teams that don't do, I would say, inappropriate or extra raunchy movements, because keeping in mind these are children.
Yeah, so you're trying to keep it PG for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's talk about April 12th again. Some of your sponsors, you mentioned Community Bank and Trust.
So we have to say thank you to our sponsors. They've been amazing support. We have Community Foundation of Northeast Iowa, Max and Helen Guernsey Charitable Foundation, Green State Credit Union, VGM, True Stage, and Community Bank and Trust. And the sponsors are still rolling in as well.
Now those sponsors I would refer to them as the usual suspects. Because all those organizations do such a terrific job in supporting community activities like yours. Also, what about, do you need volunteers for that day?
Yes, we are still taking in volunteers to help with registration check-in, greeters, session attendance, hall monitors. We are open to anyone who would be available on Friday, April 12th. between about 12 and 5 p.m. that day. You can go to our website and click on volunteers and sign up right on the website, and our administrative assistant Bria Hill will get in touch with you on next steps.
And what kind of vendors are you looking for? I know there's still some openings for that.
Oh, yes.
I think according to your note here, March 29th is the final vendor day to sign up. So what kind of vendors are you looking for?
For vendors, again, 2- and 4-year institutions, employers, military opportunities, trade and certification programs. We want to provide youth with their variety of options upon graduating high school. So if you have opportunities for young people upon graduating high school, or even if they have some opportunities they can take advantage of now, we want you to come and participate. You can go to our website and click on the sponsors and vendors tab and click on Excellence Expo, and all the details will be there for the vendors, along with the vendor packet that they can download, and they can also register right on the website.
Okay, I don't know if you remember this, but you were on this program one time when you were with the Job Foundation. Now,
yes.
now you're with Marching Against the Darkness. An unusual name. Where does it come from? What does it mean, really? What's the inner meaning of this? Yeah.
The founder, Sister Kate Jordan, started the competition back in 2001, and so it actually is in reference to a scripture, Ephesians 6 and 12, talking about we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. And so what that scripture really is talking about is your mindset. And so how are we getting people to think different? And so she initially implemented that with the drill team competition, Marching Against the Darkness, to challenge teams to have their young people perform more appropriately, I would say. What she was seeing in the drill team arena was not appropriate, what she felt for a child and teenager to be, how they should be presenting themselves. And so we challenged them at the competition to bring up their level of performance, and now at the Expo we're challenging them to really dig into their excellence and draw it out of them, so to start thinking about what their purpose is, what is their path in life. And none of us had it figured out at 18.
Exactly, right.
But to give them some options, like here are some options. You might not be ready to go to a 2- or 4-year institution, but you might want to go into the workforce, the military, or learn a trade. And so we want to expose them to their various opportunities.
And I'm so glad to hear you're working with Dr. Jared Smith with Waterloo Community School District.
Yes.
That's an important partner, it looks like. Yeah.
Yes, they've been a great help. They have a great advertisement feature that we can use, and so the information that we send out goes directly to the parents' emails and cell phones. And so
just like having a day off school, it's the same thing. Yeah. Good advertising.
Just the same communications. And so if you're getting the text messages and emails about the Excellence Expo, please make sure you register your 6th to 12th graders. It's absolutely free, but we do need you to register so we can have a proper head count. And so make sure if you know anyone with a 6th to 12th grader, let them know and get them to register.
Yeah, make sure, don't forget, the student registration deadline is April 3rd.
Yes.
And really this is all about kind of determining, maybe being more than you think you can be. You know, you kind of reaching inside, showing up, having discipline, being dedicated to become something really successful. This organization, it looks to me like, is doing that. So
thank you.
Darvell, really appreciate that. Again, the Expo is April 12th. Registration for students is April 3rd. Registration for vendors, they're still looking for vendors and volunteers. March 29th is that deadline. So Darvell, as always, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great turnout.
Thank you.
More on the Steele Report in just a moment. As always, thanks for watching this edition of the Steele Report, and be sure to check out all of our recent shows on kwwl.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.